All right, we have some major breaking news right now. Donald Trump's lawyer says he's been told of a New York indictment.
Yeah, we have been anticipating this news for weeks now. We have a reporter out in Lower Manhattan. Linda Schmidt is live, and
we're going to get to her in a minute. I mean, it's interesting because the latest we heard last night was that a decision on this was not going to come down until probably the end of the month because of the different grand jury business that was ahead of them. But now we've just got word that this is apparently going to happen. Linda Schmidt joins us now with what we know about the news that has just broken within the past 5-10 minutes. Linda.
That's right. First of all, good evening to both of you. Yeah, and the New York Times originally reporting this, but then quickly everybody else confirming it. And I just got off the phone. I've been texting with President Trump's attorney, Joe Tacopina, and he confirmed it for me. He says, yes, in fact, the grand jury that was impaneled here starting in early January has indicted the former president. Now, this is in connection with hush money payments made to porn actress Stormy Daniels, as well as $150,000 a payment that was made to model Karen McDougal. Now, Karen McDougal is the model who claimed that she had had an affair with Trump. And Stormy Daniels claimed that she had had a one-night sexual encounter with the former president about 10 years before he ran for president. Now, the hush money payments surround money given to these two women, coordinated through Michael Cohen, the former fixer for Donald Trump, at the behest of Trump. That's what Cohen has testified to, and that's what he has claimed. In order to keep these women quiet in the final days of the 2016 presidential campaign so that it would not hurt Donald Trump's chances of winning the election. That's what Cohen has testified to. Now, the grand jury has been hearing evidence, as I said, since the beginning of January. They've been meeting on Mondays, historically Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, hearing testimony from a slew of people, including just this week on Monday, and this is somebody who is considered to be a key witness in this case, the former head of the National Enquirer, David Pecker, who is a longtime friend of Donald Trump, whose company has already testified and admitted, and this was years ago, admitted to helping the Trump campaign, the Trump presidential campaign, kill the story of Karen McDougal. They helped to coordinate the $150,000 payment to Karen McDougal, and then they killed her story. That was to help Donald Trump's campaign. Now, again, where this goes now from what I was talking to the former president's attorney, Joe Tacopina, earlier this week, I asked him what would be the next step if the president is indicted. He said the president would not be turning himself in Florida. He would have to come up here to New York, and he would have to turn himself in. Now, when is that going to happen? At this point, we don't know, because the official word hasn't come yet from the DA's office. There's no comment coming from the DA's office about the grand jury's indictment. Again, it's also really important to point out here, and we've had legal experts on talking about this, the standard for indicting somebody is really low. Getting an indictment is a very easy thing to do. What the DA has to decide now, though, is does he really think he has enough evidence to take this into court where a former president could be criminally convicted of this? And that's what the DA is going over right now. So where this proceeds, how this moves forward at this particular moment, we are not sure. We just don't know. In addition to that, just because there has been an indictment doesn't mean this is really going to be going anywhere. But as far as what we know right now, everything is confirmed. Like I said, I spoke with Trump's attorney, Joe Tacopina, texting him, and he says it is confirmed that Trump has now become the first former president in American history to be indicted for a crime. Back inside to you.
Yeah.